ses olarak kontrol edelim bir. Ses 1-2. Ses.
Önceden kontrol ettim.
Ha, mükemmelsiniz ya. Sorry.
Topanica.
Başlayabilir miyiz? Kayıt olarak. Hello. Welcome to anyone. This session will be for YouTube channel of the ITEF, and I hope you will enjoy our conversation with the two resident writers from the READ project, and welcome to Istanbul. And the Regional Network for Cultural Diversity is a project that we start with a partnership with the Goethe Skopje and Loya in Tetovo, and also the other partners in Kosovo, Crocodile in Belgrade, and Spirito Libri de Albania in Tirana. And it's a partnership to grow up the relation between cultural literary institutions and specifically literary festivals between 5 countries, and the ITEF, Kalem Culture Association, is the partner for Turkey. And the aim is really to create a relation between the languages, culture, who's already some connection historically, and some long common culture heritage. And one of the projects in the READ project is the residency program between countries, and this is the 2nd year, and we have 2 really how I can say the young writers, or I don't know when you are young, and I feel still I'm young. I'm another subject. And first of all, the Adrian Zalla, he arrived already in May. Then in this Monday with the festival, the Imer Topanica is with us. This subject is how a writer can find a free time, how to organize his life to make an opportunity to enough freedom to create his literature. How you use these opportunities? What you feel?
Well, I think I'm going to start because I have more time here than Imer, but he'll write Monday. Well, I thought with the residency I would have much more time to write and to focus on writing, but Istanbul is really a busy city and it's always on running, and it makes the person to run as well, for everything, to catch a ferry, to catch a metro, to catch a bus, to eat on the run as well. But I think it's a bit difficult for a person when he wants to achieve a lot of things in his life to find not maybe free time, but the right time to write. Because you can find free time, but you cannot have the inspiration to write. And that's really important for a writer's life, or everyone who wants to write a beautiful piece about a story or about something that might send a message or bring someone to the audience. So for me, it's being somewhere in the middle, so easy and difficult. Difficult because of the part I said, Istanbul runs, so I'm trying to catch up. And easy because I really have free time and I don't really have a lot to do, so I've been focused to edit a lot of things that I've written before, and I'm writing some new pieces, mostly poetry, and I'm doing some short stories that is going to be a multimedia, a product about the residency that hopefully is going to be finished on time. I hope about that. So yeah, I think that's it.
And after I come back to you, and how you use, because the city is running and your life is paused because you are outside of your regular life. How you are sometimes happy or you feel some loneliness?
Well, I think even if you have all the friends in Istanbul, because Istanbul is really big, sometimes you catch yourself feeling lonely, but that's healthy. I think it's healthy because it makes you think. And when you start thinking about something, it means that you need a turn. And when you need a turn, you start writing. That's when the inspiration comes. But I think that nowadays, because of all the social media influential, like the life in social media, it's everything like transferred there. So even though I'm in a pause, I'm away from my country, I'm still not all away, because I mean, I'm having all this conversation with my friends, with my colleagues, with my boss as well. So that's like something that you cannot like really disconnect entirely, even if all the social media wouldn't exist, because you know, thoughts, opinions, sometimes even imaginary things that you might start creating in your head, you cannot completely disconnect.
Okay, for Imer, he arrived just in the opening day of the festival. That's why perhaps you didn't find your free time, relaxed day yet. But what is your plan when you apply, for example, to this residency program?
I think writing find us. So it's like they say, Istanbul is interesting town and very dynamic life. But I am a quiet person outside. Inside, I find my way to writing. So this project is very interesting for us because the literature that it cultivated in Balkan needs to be better known. Therefore, these types of projects are more than welcome for authors, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm honored to be part of this piece.
And it's the first time, or you already have experience with the residency program?
No, it's a first time for me.
Okay, for you it's really the first experience?
Yes, yes.
And for you, Adrian?
Yeah, for me as well.
Really? I didn't expect it. Great.
Yeah.
That's why you
I could think about
after
that.
us. It's the first.
Yeah, it's my first residency. I've done other programs, but not really all related with art, literature, and culture. And that's like the main reason I wanted to do it.
Okay, you apply with a project. You can also a little explain to.
Yeah.
What is your
Well,
project?
actually, I applied with a different project. Now I'm doing another one.
Okay, you change idea.
Yes, life changed all the time. So, as I said, catching up. Right now, the plan for my products, I'm planning to do two actually. The one is the one I said. It's going to be a multimedia product. So, combining pictures that I'm taking all around Istanbul, places I'm visiting, around Moda as well, because Moda is really a nice neighborhood. So I want to promote the place I'm living as well, because like livelihood is really important to be promoted. So that's going to be, I think it's going to be up to 5 or 7 short stories combining with pictures. And the other one, I'm going to do, except the article, intercultural article, because that's like something obligatory. But as my products, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to do 3 podcasts, short podcasts, explaining or telling my side of story. So it's going to be kind of merged with intercultural learning, with storytelling, but especially like some information about Istanbul, the cool things, but even the fighting, like when you go after 12 at home, that you always see, for example. So, and that's like really an intercultural point. In Balkans as well, you see fighting, and sometimes it can be fun, and sometimes it can be ugly, but it brings you back that the heritage we have, like inside, but even outside of us, brings us together. So that's really important. So this is about my products, and I'm going to get a lot of memories as well. That's going to stay for me for life.
After Imer.
Yes, literature in our days should be more interesting, like social media, TV, pornography, and etc. But it should be a good literature. It should also be philosophy, art, and more and more.
And what you expect to have a idea, and what you will write more poetry, short story?
Writing.
What is your expectation during the residency? What in it is in 1 month I have, and I will focus this.
Poetry, maybe, and short story. It's for me. It's.
Yeah. And you think this is 1 month enough for your project?
Yes and no. Well, no, because I think I was talking with the girl that is from Turkey that's going to do the residency in Tetova, and she has like 13 years living in Istanbul, and I said, probably you must know every corner of Istanbul. And as I said that, I said, no, that's not possible. Even if you've lived all your life, you cannot know all the corners of Istanbul. So, in that sense, no. But in another sense, yes, because I'm afraid if I discover way too much, maybe I will lose the inspiration, the good thing, the soul of Istanbul, the right part that you need to write. So, because always when you write something or when you want to tell a story, there must be something undiscovered. So it must be a bit pushing for the other or intriguing for the other people, so they can come to Istanbul to discover some other parts that maybe I didn't found or see. So, yes and no.
And for you, perhaps it's too early to say that 1 month will be enough, but I hope it will be enough. And first impression, you arrived, because when Adrian arrived, the festival not started. That's why we have more free time, more relaxed time. But for example, for you, you are quickly in the opening ceremony, the events, the networking meetings, and this event also unfortunately started now. And what do you think, if it was more easy that arrived than stay without events and make event in the end, or what you prefer? Have some contact with the, for example, with the audience, or really stay at home or working, make a poetry, write a poetry?
Maybe to stay and to use my day to writing. I'm not type for life, nightlife or so on.
But for that, you choose Istanbul. There are other possibilities. Why you choose Istanbul? Because, for example, the Belgrade also is a big city, and perhaps you know why you choose Istanbul.
It's a
because it is big city.
Big city, yes, yes, and for us, are important to have a connection.
Sorry. When you're a festival director of the temple, I'm sorry, wait.
For us, like a writer, it's important to have a connection with publishers and we writing in Albanian, but we interesting to sell our work in another language. So
this is another part.
Yes.
The literary part.
Yes, it's Simetani from Zoom.
I'm inspired.
Inspired town, inspired place, people.
And what you want? You will visit San Sofia. You will visit the Çarşıya.
Hagia Sophia, maybe. Çarşıya.
Yeah, there are many
Yes.
Çarşıya.
A lot of them.
Okay, then the other, for example, for us also, it's first time a writer stay together, and you stay together. What is your first experience?
Well, it's still early. It's still early to say. But up to now, I think we are going really well. So, I mean, we are totally different persons, like even as characters, lifestyles, and all these, and that's really healthy in a home. I think we are going to see till the end, but as I said, up to now it's going great, and I hope to go as it started. Really great.
I am boring person. I don't drink, I don't walk, and
But you're a philosophic person, perhaps.
maybe, I hope
And
so.
you start to discuss literature together?
Yes. Actually, yes, since the first day, we got lunch together. We talked about a lot of our Albanian and Kosovar's authors. We were expressing our points of views. Of course, we cannot share everything, but it was really a long conversation, a healthy conversation, and really good one. It had a lot of long time that I didn't have that kind of feedback from someone who knows the literature till the core, because a lot of people say they know literature, but they know only the substantial or the superficial part. And Imer has like really deep roots of knowing literature and explaining it, and not only the literature, but even the authors as well, because sometimes the background of the authors, it's really important to explain their art or their everything they have published and brought into life.
Great. And your experience?
It's interesting. Like he said, he's a different person, but we find our way.
It's coincidence that your more mother language is Albanian, and but what we try to do also to make it the intercultural dialogue. In this case, you feel that you make an intercultural dialogue between you because Kosovo, Albania, you think it's different culture, and who, of course, in person is different culture too. But what is your feeling? Because you are now foreigners in Istanbul, foreigners, and sometimes people who don't like each other too much, when go outside in a foreign country, they become good friends. You think this is?
I would let Imer to respond to this first.
How can I say? In my work influenced by Sufi philosophy, maybe,
Yes.
and my life. I have, like I say, boring life.
No, it's not for your life. Don't say that. Yeah, it's tranquil life.
Just kidding. And we are different experience, so we interesting to share with experience too.
Okay, and other hand, for example, because what is the difference when you come to residency? I know that you are really a father with three children.
Yeah.
What you feel?
It's hard to.
It's a family. Okay.
Yes.
The family is there,
Yes.
and you are here.
Yes, they call me 3 or 4 on day, and for my big boy, it's I have 5 years old, and for him is too hard to.
Just to evade it.
yes,
Father
yes.
or
to get away.
But
To get away.
you think you will be in next week, for example, just say that, please call me only in the evening, or you will focus, or you will make your father job first line. What is the first line in the residency?
I like to meditate it and to writing in past of day, evening maybe. It's more quiet and more. I can focus on my work.
And how the residency help you to focus? Because
It's
normally the family day is also daytime,
yes,
and
it's
your free time also it was evening.
it's lovely place. I love it and I enjoy it.
Great. And for you?
To focus?
Yeah, for example, in regular life, you are not much to go to job, some obligation. Now you are the obligation follow you or not.
I would put this in this way. So I think I can focus everywhere as long as I have inspiration. Because we are always fighting against time. Time is always going. It's like the river, it always goes away, and we're trying like to make the most out of it. and I try that as well to make the most out of it. But it helped me focus for a big reason, because I am not really working in an office, and I have the time to go in a park, I have time to go in a bar, I have the time to walk long distance, and I have the freedom to shut off my phone. And that's really important, because when you work a full-time job, you cannot do that, because either you get fired, either you will find like a lot of missing calls after that, and that's going to be an issue. And it's irresponsible from your part as well. So it helped me, and the microphone went away. It helped me to focus, to concentrate, and to kind of set some objectives, what I want to reach, but not only for now, but up to 3 years. What want I do with my literature, my art? Where do I want to get? So I think I got this whole new perspective and fresh point of view, and that was really important for me, because I think I got that like after 10th day that I was here, and it served really well the purpose up to now. So yeah.
Okay, the other things you are, for example, as a Istanbul people, everybody around me speak Turkish. I understand Turkish.
Yeah.
Then you are a tourist. You go somewhere for 3 days, 4 days. The people around you, you don't understand each other, but you are tourist. You don't care, or is another relation. But now in residency, like a long, what is your feeling that everybody around you don't speak Albanian or your mother language? What is your relation with the language?
If I would speak, that would be actually a long conversation. Maybe to start this conversation all over again. Well, there are like 2 points or 2 points of views here. As a tourist, you do care about the language, because you want to learn as much as you can, because it depends what kind of tourist you are as well. But I think every kind of tourist that comes, it is interested in the language, because like the first thing when you ask someone is like, what's your name and where are you from? So that language, it has a huge importance. So there are, I think, like Istanbul people are divided into big categories. The ones that don't know English, that they are really nice, really kind, but they don't know, so they cannot really help you. And the ones who know, and they are really cool. I really like that. I think the younger generation, I cannot say an age, but the younger generation is like catching up really good with English. And the good thing about Istanbul is, except the Turkish people, the younger generation who knows English, is that it has a lot of expats, a lot of tourists. So you are always in touch with new people. And that it's in a kind of way really good, because except experiencing only the Turkish culture, in Istanbul, you get to experience so much more. So, but going back to the language, it's really important. And I think if I would knew Turkish, probably I would do much, much better. And I could get a deal to translate my book as well if I would knew Turkish. But since I don't know, I will back to you.
Okay. And yeah, please.
For our cultural, we have a special relationships with Turkish and historical relationships, and I feeling this relationships when I come to just to say people and to see people and to listen in this language.
Great.
I know some words, so it's lovely to communicate it. But people don't talk in English. It's no problem for me.
And come back to how you, just a little regular question, how to find this application in residency? How you know it? From the website, from the social media, someone invite you? How you decide to apply?
Okay.
Thank you. Well, a friend of mine saw it in Facebook, and she sent it to me, and she said, because I'm always looking for an opportunity to get translated abroad because I'm planning to publish my book, my second book, that is a novel, really soon. This is my first book, published poetry, and she said it's going to be really a good opportunity for you. I saw it. I saw all the conditions. I fulfilled all of them, and I said, "Yeah, it's really a great idea." So she saw it in Facebook because it was open call and it was sponsored at the time, and I applied, and here I am. I get here, and you can find it. I think it's everywhere. Read page. It's everywhere in social media, Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn as well, as far as I know. And it was really, I mean, that's the point of having good friends. They encourage you and they send you always opportunities. So she saw it, she sent it, I applied. Here we are.
But for example, do you have other opportunity, the other residency program, and you never
In Albania, mostly the residency programs are for musicians and actors, and there is not really much attention for residency for writers or scenarists, the writers. So this is an opportunity. There is another one in cooperation with Italy, but you have to publish at least 3 books. So I don't have that yet, so I couldn't apply to that residency. There are some conditions sometimes that you cannot fulfill. So.
And for you?
My friends suggest me, and I find ITEF festival in social media, and let's start it like that. And
how you decide? Okay, I will apply, and I can live my family minimum 1 month.
To ending the books and projects like a writer, we need myself. I need to skip away all responsibility and to find some days to ending the projects. And I have 3 projects, and I hope so to ending some of them.
Okay. And do you have some question also about Istanbul or what? Now this is your turn to ask question.
Go, Imer. Ask.
Yes,
Well, actually, I would ask one question. That would be, Istanbul is getting bigger. Are you planning to move from Istanbul when it gets like 25 million, or you are going to still remain here? I'm really interested about that.
And of course, a residency program, we are thinking with our colleagues. The residency program, you must discover Istanbul, big city life. There are no real. You can't organize your free time in a big city. You must follow the city, and between or in Istanbul is one of that. It's not a Oslo. It's not a really city that organizes it. That's why there are many surprising, and life is like that. It's like Middle East life. Other hand, perhaps, I don't know. For example, we also have the opportunity to make our residency in the village, not in Istanbul. You come to Turkey, but not to Istanbul, and it was a difficult choice because for you in your application, you imagine it. I am going to Istanbul. This is the big city, cultural diversity, historically is so deep, and many culture was here, from the Roman Empire to the Ottoman Empire, etc. is a long story, and connected somehow. The Balkans was also historically a part of the capital was Istanbul. This is also another, for us, a responsibility to invite the writer. And then I say, first Istanbul, you must learn, you must have experience in Istanbul. and I hope next time it will be a village. That's why perhaps next time, or we are preparing a village house for you must vote to have a grant.
Yeah.
Yeah. And perhaps next year, when you publish a book in Turkish, we will invite you again. And for you, for example, perhaps Istanbul is not a good choice.
No.
If you prefer perhaps a village.
Maybe, but I enjoyed these days. It's not a problem to
To adapt.
in
Great. And until now, what is your you encourage the people who's in Albania or Kosovo to apply again to this kind of residency?
Definitely. For me, definitely. I think it's so enriching experience about all the reasons I mentioned before, because I don't want to start all over again. But the most important thing that maybe I should highlight is that it gives you the focus you need, and it gives you the right opinions, or maybe the right thoughts to choose the path you need to go. And sometimes that takes time, but when you're doing a residency, because of the free time, because of you don't have to worry about a lot of things, because even bills like monthly are a thing that people, and all the people, even the writers, they have to worry about that, and that kind of gives you a free ticket to think and to choose your own path and to choose the path you want to get to. So definitely, it's so enriching experience, and I have suggested to some of my friends already, and they are going to apply, at least 3 of them.
Yes.
So hopefully one of them will get in. So we will share our experience, and we're going to talk about how enriching all of this was.
Okay. For you, something to add?
something to add.
Deci ca și doczytasz?
No,
Okay.
just maybe to reading some verses.
Please,
Some
please.
Adonti medicine?
Jo, vazhdo.
In Albanian?
No, in English.
In Albanian also. Some reading, we need literature.
Okay. Just a second. My English, and it's not very good, but I trying to read. Open your heart, called poetry. Open your heart and let goodness seep into you. As the rain that fills meekly in the thirsty summer garden. As the smile that creeps across the infant faces when they dream of good things. Unlock the door to goodness, let it enter in you. As the rise that like the secret ice streams deep in the mountains. As the breezes that sweeps the flowers' pollen and propagate their graces. As infants feel delight to see a dove in flight and dream of flying. Let spite be whipped away. Melt like snow discolored by foams and hearthrug. Oh, let it love into the parched garden of your heart. Let it infuse to you. That's it.
Thank you very much. And I hope we will make another video when you finish your residency.
Okay.
Thank you for your participation, and please follow ITEF social media and like our post. Thank you very much for your participation.
Thank you for coming to the job.
Kam qenë të mërshëm me gjuhën, kam përshtypjen.